I'm here because I don't understand my passion for storytelling. I don't know why I like to write. I see character development as the closest thing to an actual real life human being's experience in this life. And in some ways, I think what we are trying to do is create a reflection so that we could see ourselves metaphorically with the hopes that after we see ourselves, we can finally understand why. For me, that goes pretty deep into the psychology of reflection. As I wrote my story, I constantly would think about different emotions I felt at certain points in my life along my journey. Things that I felt impacted me in the greatest ways that also served as great learning lessons along my path. And writing that down helped me understand my mindset at the time and why my mindset has progressed and evolved to be what it is today. This is the best way that I can illustrate what my goal is and what I feel when I write. I feel like there aren't enough words in the dictionary for me to eloquently illustrate my feeling of writing to you, which is, kind of weird since I am a writer. um, but what I wanted to do, because I knew that I was going to have a hard time verbalizing my passion. So, what I want to do is watch Alan Moore, who is a writer, with you, and let him give his thoughts on what his perspective of writing is and why he believes it's important. Alan Moore is a well acclaimed writer who's mostly known for his work in V for Vendetta and many others. Um, but I thought what he said was extremely interesting. So I wanted to watch it with you.
If I am going to tell you how to be a writer, that will probably entail telling you what writing is, and that means telling you where writing comes from. And as far as I understand it, writing evolved from Paleolithic shamanism. And when we look at the development of writing and magic, we begin to see that they're actually the same thing. That all of the artistic effects from painting, but especially to writing, all of these effects are things that were regarded as magical powers in the ancient world, as supernatural powers. Books and writing are capable of changing the entire world, of modifying human consciousness.
And you know what? The first thing I thought about when he said that just now is essentially like in biblical times, if you really think about it, interpreting dreams was a literal occupation. It was something that kings took serious. But nowadays, it's up for debate whether dreams are even actually real. So I think that when we kind of veer off into everything is purely scientific, I think sometimes we miss the magic, we miss the enchanting existence of our reality that we can't see anymore, but it's there. And I think that the people of old in ancient times knew a lot of information that we don't know. That's the first thing I thought about when Alan Moore just said that.
You are modifying the consciousness of the reader, and therefore you are modifying the reality of the reader. Writing will modify the reality and the consciousness of the entire species, and also, inevitably, will mean modifying the consciousness of the writer themselves. You should never think of yourself as purely an entertainer for hire who is lucky to have the work. You should.
I wanted to pause it there and say, I believe what he said is true because, you know, I wrote my story, my dark fantasy novella that I will present to you soon. But I began the journey believing that I was writing it to share some of the lessons I've learned in life. And maybe other people can relate to that. So then here's a story for you, and you can read it and relate to it and know that you're not crazy. But I had a different experience. As I was writing along the process, I began to change myself. I could see the different pitfalls and the different emotions and the different obstacles and the different rewards and the different lessons that I learned along my journey as I was writing each chapter. And I feel like I'm a different person because of it today. So I think there's credence to what Alan was just saying just now.
Try to remember the tradition that you are becoming part of. You should try to remember that a writer can change the world with their writing. Think of the books that have completely changed human history and see yourself in that light. Because if you are a writer, then the substances that you are handling, the things that you are juggling, you are having an effect upon human history and the entirety of the human future. The most important tool for any writer to possess is going to be the writer herself. You are your own most important instrument. And so you will have to tune that instrument if you want to be a successful or a satisfying writer.
And I will pause it right there. There are many more great wise things that he said in this interview, and I absolutely love it. But I wanted to share those little snippets with you because, you know, what he said is very true. And it's not just about writing. I'm going to go beyond what he said, that you can impact the world, that everything that you do essentially can change a mindset or systems that exist in the world today. He was juxtapositioning that example to just writing, but I'm going to go far and say that applies to every single thing. One of the greatest mistakes is to believe that you have no purpose, whoever you are out there watching this. That is the greatest mistake because no matter what you do in this world, you make an effect, an impact, whether you know it or not. So, in his example, he's talking about fine tuning the art of writing, which comes from yourself, right? But, I also believe that whatever you have to offer, even if that's not writing, fine tune it and Never give up. Always pursue what that is. In my case, it's a lot of things, but one of the things is writing. Sometimes, though, everything you just heard Alan Moore say and everything you've heard me say can be extremely difficult to keep game on, so to speak, because there's a lot of distractions in this world. Lots of distractions, a lot of lies, a lot of negativity, a lot of hate. And sometimes we can hyper focus on those things instead of the thing that's most important, which is our instrument, which is our entity, our mind, our souls, us. And I think it's so very important for us to, like Alan Moore said, fine tune us so that we can project what's inside of us out to the world that will make an impact. And that's what's on my mind a lot of the times, especially since I was writing this story. And speaking of darkness and distractions and negativity, what I want you to do is to imagine a world where a knight wakes up in darkness. And due to battle, he developed amnesia. So he has no recollection of who he is, what his name is, where he is, why he is. He has no recollection. The only thing he can think in the darkness that he awoke from, the only thing he can remember is a woman's name, Lucia. And he ponders and he wonders why that's the only name he can remember. But the darkness that he woke up in is actually the world. And in this world, there are terrifying monsters, horrific terrain. He has to struggle every step that he takes to move beyond this world. He doesn't know why he has to struggle. He doesn't know why he's there. All he knows is this woman's name. And whenever he hears the woman's name, he can tell that he can feel something for her, even though yet he can't explain it or perceive why that is. In this world, this knight, Darius, asked himself the same questions that we all ask ourselves here in real life. What is this? Why am I here? Why am I struggling? What is the purpose of my struggle? Will I ever find my love? What is the Volikom?
The Volikom is a sound, the oldest harmony of the realms, woven into the crack of lightning above, the stones beneath, the lakes that reflect the unseen, and the hearts that dare continue its symphony, truth encoded in 7 ancient words. It is the force that beats. The boy who first touched the broken pebble, the daughter whose power split the sky, the fox whose chant knows both mercy and wrath, and the dark lake whose depths hides living light. Upon the mountain whose people carry creation in their hearts, hops the rabbit who sees farther than time. The Volikom is the story of purpose amongst the broken. It whispers that every cracked stone and torn heart, every fallen daughter and tortured souls still carries the power to shape the realms. It is the reminder that lightning only strikes to choose, that destiny reveals itself through fracture. The path forward is not the smooth one, but the shattered one. In the end, the Volikom is the eternal truth of the mountain. This is the heart of Book 1, the beginning of the myth, the first timbre in the mountain's long song.
Volikom. The Volikom, Chants of Lightning in Night of Love by SEVANS.
Hey, what's good? Wait. Before you go, don't go yet. I just got to say one important thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so happy that you, whoever you guys are out there, that you watched it and that you are able to kind of understand where I'm coming from creatively. I was so excited to release this. It's the premiere of my novella titled The Volikom, Chants of Lightning and Night of Love. And I had so much fun editing it and writing it. And I'm just excited to get it out there, you know. So please support me if you are interested in dark fantasy. I have two links in the link in my bio on this YouTube channel. One is a Barnes & Noble link, and one is a flip book link, which is more interactive way to flip pages and interact with the digital book. I'm just gonna keep pursuing my goals and dreams. And beyond me promoting my book, I hope that you received a really great message in this video. It was about not losing hope, and it was about how I feel we all have purpose in this life. That's the main message of the video. But please stay tuned, because in the next video, I'm going to read the first 2 chapters of the book, and you get that for free. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is the author, Lake Sevans, in a Dark Lake edit. Let's go.